Greenfield Public Library project began as a study to help determine the best way to meet their needs for a growing library in the city of Greenfield. For over 100 years, the library was located in the Levitt Hovey House. This old mansion had a number of additions and renovations, but they'd outgrown that space. One of the first steps was to help them to finalize their programmatic priorities to determine how much square footage was really needed to accomplish all of their goals. The second step was to find the ideal location for the new library. After examining a variety of sites in town, we determined that the most ideal place was in a municipal parking lot directly next to the existing library building. The overall design is basically a large rectangular building. We've tried to break down that mass so that when people walk in, they understand where things are. The way that we did that is to basically break the building down into three segments. There's a center section which basically acts as the organizational spine of the building, and then there's a section left and right. And these run front to back of the building. You walk through a set of glass doors into that center core of the building, and as soon as you step in the door, you can see all the way through the building, through that center spine, right out through the glass in the children's department and out the rear. The windows and the clerestory windows bring light down into the center of the building. The circulation desk is right there, and directly in front of you is the children's department. So we're trying to make it very easy to find your way around. As soon as you get into the children's department, there's a desk right there with an office right behind it. And the center portion has things that all the kids are going to use: computers, soft seating, play space, things like that. And on the left side are the books and materials for the younger kids, realia and other touch things that the kids can play with. And on the right-hand side are the taller book stacks for the older kids. And in the far corner, we have an area for tweens. At that age where they still feel comfortable in the children's department, but maybe don't want to hang around with the younger kids, but they're not really ready to go up to the teens department yet. Right in the center of the children's department is the children's activity area. The idea here is to try to give them a room where they can do a program and the kids can have fun and they can learn something and they can work together. Linear wood ceilings that happen in certain portions of the inside seem to kind of travel right through the glass walls and then out into the canopy ceilings outside, and trying to tie that inside to outside so that whether you're standing on one side of the glass or the other, you can see that kind of connection. When you go up the stairs, there's natural light that comes down into that center spine, and we're really trying to accentuate that connection between the inside and the outside. And when you get to upstairs, we're trying to keep everything low so that you can see your way around. And then on either side of that spine, there's more closed spaces and more dense things like book stacks. That large center section we kind of think about as the living room for the community. But there are some folks that like to go a bit more off the beaten path. And we're trying to create spaces where people can still see what's going on, but maybe hang out with themselves or in a smaller group. One of the main reading rooms on the upper floor sits in the corner of the building and it looks out towards Main Street. We envision that that would be a very popular spot for people to sit, to read, to catch up, to chat with their friends, and to feel like they're connected to the community. And that connection to the community really ended up being an important design point. You could reserve materials and put them on hold and use the scanner on the self-checkout to take the technology and democratize it, give it to the people so that they can use it and get comfortable with it. It's a benefit, we think, for the patron, and it's also a benefit for the staff. You can go to one of the laptop kiosks, put in your library card, take out a laptop, no charge, and use it in the library. The teens department was a lot of fun to design. The teens librarian wanted to reach out directly to the kids that are actually using this space and find out what they really want. One of the things that we had already contemplated in the design was some window seats. Right at the center of that spine of the building, there's an outdoor patio space. It is accessible only from inside the building. You could work out there, you could sit in the sun, you could have a conversation, you can get some fresh air, gets plenty of sunlight, and has beautiful views of the Berkshire Mountains. A maker space. You can learn how to knit an Afghan, or you can learn how to code, or you can take an arts and crafts class. We're just trying to make sure that it's flexible enough to be able to do whatever they'd like it to do. Landscape architect Mark Mazzarelli has this great sense of how to incorporate a landscape into a building and make it complementary. He came up with these great solutions for the paving patterns in and around the building, the ceiling patterns and the canopy, and how we can make the exterior built environment mesh together with the natural environment. The building is all electric. There's no fossil fuels burned in the building. One of the goals was to reduce the amount of energy that we needed to heat and cool this building and to do our part in sustainability. We're using double insulated glass with an interstitial polymer layer. So basically it gives us the equivalent of a triple glazing. We tried to make sure that there was a place for everyone in the community at the library. The library we think of as one of those democratic spaces. It's of all the public projects that we work on, libraries are really the one that serves everyone in the community, from the smallest children to the oldest adults.